That brings us to our next session, which is going to be led by Ms. Neeraja. I'm pleased to introduce and welcome Neeraja. Neeraja is a TEDx speaker and a keynote speaker at prestigious conferences across the globe, and she's delivered talks on a variety of topics. In a freelance capacity, she also conducts various training programs on leadership and behavior. She has won multiple awards. She was one of the top 10 finalists for the Women Tech Network Speaker of the Year 2023. Neeraja strongly believes that mentorship is extremely beneficial in the development and growth of individuals. She started her career in the information technology industry, managing large teams, delivering of IT projects, operational excellence, and customer delight for large banking captives, after which she moved on to to work in the space of gender diversity. And now she's a mentor on a variety of platforms, including Aspire for Her and her team. She has also spearheaded the Jobs for Her Foundation, which was set up to bridge the gap of the gender gaps in India. And she is now a leadership trainer and coach. Please do welcome you, Neeraja. Yeah.
All right, so the whole day I've been listening to very interesting speakers, and this I believe is the last talk of the day.
We saved the best for last.
Oh, thank you. So I told Aline, okay, this is the last. I don't know how many will stay back. And she said, I'm going to stand at the door and ensure. So I don't know if that's how you all are here, but I hope you can stay on with me for the next 45 to 50 minutes. Is that okay?
Yes.
And I will definitely try to make it as interesting and as actionable. I think that's most important for all of us, right? If we can't take actions, then it's just entertainment. And I'm sure I will entertain you. That I know for sure. Okay, so I need to get this up. So bear with me for a minute. But what are your expectations from this session? By the way, expectations that you would like to set? Otherwise, I'm just going to rant something and I'm not sure whether that's going to
How can we make it easy for us?
Okay, how to make it easy for you to build your own brand, is it? Is that one of the expectations? Okay.
Is it a continuous journey?
Sorry?
Building a brand to yourself, how continuous it is?
How continuous?
How much is enough, how much is?
Okay, all right. The question, okay. I'm not noting down the questions, but I hope that I will cover all of it. And in case I have not, then please do ask me the question at the end of it. Any other expectations?
Branding within a company, not just as a brand to the market,
Absolutely.
as an employee.
Absolutely. That's also something that we will cover, so that I did not forget that. Yes, please.
How do you pick as an individual, you might have multiple areas of interest and multiple areas
Yeah.
of expertise. How do you pick the ones that build your brand? Because if it's too scattered,
Absolutely. I'm just, kind of in my mind saying that's slide 5. So I add it, yes.
A lot of personal branding, it starts off as being like not exactly like fake it till you make it, but
Okay.
kind of on the lines of that you start believing that you are that and you move towards that.
Right. Did someone say that, you can make it 50%, however, you are at 10%, but it's okay as long as you can reach the 50%. So
that reaching the 50% is what
Sure.
we all know about the 10%.
Sure, okay. Any others?
So
How do you do it in a way such that it doesn't hamper your professional prospects?
Okay, I didn't understand the question.
It's like you're being expressive enough on social media
Okay.
and on different types of platforms.
Okay.
And how do you do it in a way that it doesn't hamper your professional prospects, like your company might see only
Yeah,
that's
that's
one.
one.
I actually very close to it.
Yes. We told right, to be authentic in ourselves. But say like the company I work for, like I can't put out the 100% really because I have to have that professional
True.
personality also, right? So how do I manage that authenticity there?
Okay, all right. Yes.
So also how authentic and still stand out.
Yes. Yes, Selva.
I was wondering, how do I know what is the brand that people think about me? Like, there's one thing about my own belief about my brand. But I've asked people, I'm sure they say nice things, but I really don't know.
I usually do an exercise and maybe we'll do that. Okay, Sneha? So my daughter is here and she's attended a session of, we have actually co-delivered a session, personal branding sessions. However, she attended one where I did this, so I had not planned for it, but let me do it because Selva asked. Okay, Selva has come all the way with her son and trying to keep him busy. Attended the dance performance, thinking that is where all the sessions are. So I think I must give something for this. So just. I believe most of us are strangers for each other. So just, I don't want to run around, but if you want to go find a stranger, like don't go with your mother. Okay, this exercise. I'm calling it as a 45-second scan. Alright? So pair up with someone that you just don't know. And just look, just look at them for 45 seconds. Get someone time it, please time it, 45 seconds. Do not speak, do not ask, you're just looking. And I do not want us to go anywhere else. This is only for the purpose of this. Yeah. Are we done?
Yes.
You must say it.
Can't stay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
With your partner. Your partner. Okay, we are not playing at each other. I do not want anyone to talk, but it looks like there are conversations that are happening. Okay. For those who did not speak a word, just tell your partner what came to your mind with this scan. You have another 20-25 seconds. Just share. What did you feel about this person you're staring at her? Like that, everyone. Just, if you have a partner and giving a history, geography and all, then you have this own work. But if you are quiet, what do you feel about the other person? Just both the sides are shared. Now, this is the side where everyone who felt that your partner said everything perfectly about you, this side. Whoever feels your partner said something which was not you, this side. So right, yes, all the people who thought it was right on your right. The ones who said it was wrong come here. The wrong side here, the right perception there. Okay, so all of these are wrong. All felt it was a wrong perception. You didn't get a partner? I did. You did. But it was a wrong perception about you? You did not. So if your partner said something which you feel is right, please move there. I know I'm intruding into your lunch. But I consider you as right. These are the people who felt that your partner got it wrong. On this side. Okay, all right, great. Now look at it. Look at the number of people who got this right. And I believe most of you are strangers. You didn't know each other from the past. And just in 45 seconds, you were able to gauge something about the other person which was almost right. What does that say? We'll come to this side later. Don't feel bad.
We were also right. We just.
You're lazy. That's okay. Okay. What does it mean? I mean, some reflections. How can I
endorsed.
Yes.
I think it's about how you are reading the body language or how you are presenting yourself. So I do this a lot of times that I go into the cafes just to observe humans.
Wow, this person is on another planet. I'm going to be really worried about going to cafes and so it means you're just authentic, right? I mean, you didn't put up anything, you don't put on anything for the other person. You're just standing because you're very wondering what's happening. So just yourself and the other person was able to figure out something about you. Now, whoever got it wrong, if there's anyone who was told something very wrong, very different, any volunteers? Yeah. So, who was her partner?
Paras.
Yeah. So, would you want to kind of say how wrong? I mean, if it's very personal, I wouldn't want you to be open about it. But if you want to kind of say what she said and how wrong was it?
No, I wouldn't say she is like totally off.
Yeah.
I like how she also said, like when I told what she is, she's very happy and peaceful. That's what I think when I look
Right.
at her. She said you're very calm and composed.
Okay, which you're not.
I'm trying to be, but I don't think at the personal level I need to be much more calmer.
Because you're imposter telling you.
Yeah.
No, but could be.
I
You are wanting to go there,
I want
but you're
it-
not yet there.
Not yet there.
It could be two things, that she's not yet there, or it could be that as a woman we always strive for perfection, and if we are here, we are not happy about it. And she saw it here. Okay?
These days I might be influenced by people's perception of me. All the people I know
Sure.
are very close to me
Alright.
may not agree with her.
Okay.
It could
And
be
that's
that
the thing.
too.
So Selva, to your question, somebody told you something very right.
Yeah, I don't know how she did this.
So, which means that people are not telling you things just to please you. This was activity only for Selva's sake.
But I don't know if she was trying to please me. I'm trying to do it.
I love it, I'm right.
You are always right. Okay, thank you. So thank you for indulging this activity. It was impromptu and not planned for it, so we're going to extend the time a little bit more. You can sit wherever you feel like, but the point is, we are always carrying a brand. People are able to gauge, even in 40-45 seconds, something about us. Right? So there's no put on and don't try to put on. Like she's continuously judging you in cafes, be very careful. People can figure out. So don't have to fake it. And then figure out how to kind of be real and how to still maintain it forever. Okay, let's see if this works. Okay, so I don't want to know who she is. Like all of us hopefully know. What is the first thing that's coming to your mind when you see this picture?
Determination.
Sorry?
Determination.
Determination, okay?
It's very physical.
Compassionate, okay?
Confident.
Confident, okay? I don't want these nice adjectives. What else is coming to your mind?
Not only this picture, I've heard her speak about how her struggles were maintaining or prioritizing her family along with the high demand career. So I also believe that when we look at something, we draw things that we are,
Yes.
our perception. So each of one is identifying one characteristics that is in ourselves, which is in her.
Absolutely. So there's a story she told you about her, right? Something about her family life, which is always, something that she speaks about, we've heard of, because we want to know. You reached there, but what happened to your family, and hence she speaks about it. And we are also going after that. We are not even bothering, how did you become the CEO? How did you manage your family? That's the story that we want to know, because that's our problem here,
Maybe
right?
the connection,
Yes.
how we connect. Her
Yeah.
story and my story, how it connects.
True. Anything else that comes to your mind when you see this picture?
We're probably all looking for similarities because she's an inspiration and an aspiration for a lot of us.
Right. So she is an Indian woman coming from a middle class family who's gone on to become a global CEO, right? Some people may look at her as a leader who also managed her family well. Others may look at her as a mother who also managed to become a global CEO. Nobody is talking about she is the CEO or ex-CEO of PepsiCo, right? That's probably the last. After 3 or 4 prompts, you may come to that. But the first thing which is coming, great that you brought out some adjectives, which are her characteristics. But what actually comes out is a couple of stories about her, which is removed from her designation. And that's her brand. Right? Okay. So what is personal branding? Brand is nothing without a story. So we've sat through sessions on storytelling. And we have been talking about product and product stories through the day, right? So a brand, and we're talking about a brand which is us now. Somebody said, if you were to consider yourselves as a product, then do you have a market fit? That was a question that was asked. You can ask in any manner. What is your story? A brand is nothing without a story. And you are your own brand. Okay, so this morning, sorry I didn't remember your name.
Mine?
Yeah? Paras. Okay, so we were introducing ourselves and she said she works at Commonwealth Bank, the technology division. And I said Pankajam Sridevi. I didn't say anything else.
Right.
Pankajam Sridevi is the MD. MD is the right title? MD. MD of Commonwealth Bank of Australia. For those of you who don't know her, please go and look her up, listen to her videos. A firebrand of a leader and a woman. So for me, I'm associating CBA, Commonwealth Bank of Australia's technology division, equal to Pankaj. Nothing else, and that's the brand. You carry your brand. What is your story? For me, why is this lady so inspirational? The stories that she tells, and the stories that she carries. Yesterday, we were privileged enough to listen to her once again, and yes, that's the brand. What is your story and how does it support your growth? Eventually, why are we doing all this? We all want to grow in our personal lives and our professional lives. So the stories that we tell or the stories that people know about us have to finally support our growth. Any thoughts? Anyone saying, okay, what is it? I'm going to narrate a few stories today. So let me narrate one. So I had a corporate career in tech for 25 years. I survived 25 years. I don't know if the next generation is going to survive all that many years, but they're always having side gigs, so I think they will still move along. And then, of course, I chose to do a few different things. I was heading the Jobs for Foundation, as was read out from my bio. And then I quit from there in 2019, and I thought, let me start something on my own. Let me do some of these leadership development programs, some workshops, etc. Now, I didn't know about MVP and all of that then. But I knew I have to test the waters. Will there be people who will come and sit in the audience and listen to me? I need to test this out. So I wasn't very, I'm not a risk taker. So I said, let me collaborate with someone else. So I partnered with this other person who's been in that same training industry for a while. And he said, come on, let us offer a few webinars, free webinars. This was pre-COVID, so webinars were not still that fashionable. People will then get to know about you. And then we can launch some paid sessions. So the first one that he launched on behalf of me was on networking. So I do a lot of talks on networking. I'm supposed to be a networking queen, as people say. So I said, let's do a 90-minute session on networking. And we had 96 registrations. Pretty good, I would say. It was a Sunday afternoon, online virtual webinar, 96 registrations. The thing that bothered me was all 96 were women. And I said, why? Why only women have registered for this webinar? So I said, let me go and look at the marketing that was done for this. Did we say this is only for women? So this was the creative that went out. Okay? And looking at this, I'm thinking, what about this has attracted only the women and not men? So free webinar, only women come to free? I don't know. Effective networking, don't men want to network or learn? I don't know. Pictures not very attractive to men, I have no idea. I attended my Neeraja Ganesh register today. Nowhere. And I looked up this person with whom I collaborated. He does sessions for mixed groups. And he's got a following of mixed groups. He's put it on his social media, on his website, on his personal handle. And I put it on my personal handle, and 96 women registered. Where were the men? So then I reflected to say why this could have happened. Before this, I was with Jobs for Her Foundation for 18 months. And all I was doing, shouting at the top of my head, was, women, this is for you. Women, this is free. Please come attend. Please come attend. Please come attend. While I was doing it on behalf of Jobs for Her Foundation, I would put it out on their social, and then from my own personal handles also do a reshare or put something out. Which means, without my knowledge, a brand has got built that whatever I do is only for women. But despite him promoting it, I had these 96 women who were my followers, which means that even if I done it on my own, that self-doubt and all that comes, right? I would have still got those 96 women. Okay? So that is how brands get created. So you all sitting over here don't have to start creating a brand. You already have a brand, which already the 45 minutes can do. There is a brand which is already existing. Now what you need to figure out is that what you want to be known for? Okay, and that's an audit that we will do. You all will need to do. Okay, I'll give you another story. So, I think it was 2021, a little bit before Women's Day. This popped up on my LinkedIn. Out of the blue. Same size, same picture, that's a problem. People are not taking it. 21 women who rock in saris. Day number 4. And then, of course, whatever torture. Thank you for inspiring us at Kalanika. And I was so shocked. Who is Kalanika? Who are they? I don't know. Nobody has told me such a thing is coming up on LinkedIn. And I then figured out, I went and said, who's Kalanika? Who am I connected to on social media? I was connected to their founder. I don't know her. But on LinkedIn, we connect to so many strangers also. So I was connected to a founder and I was connected to an intern working with her. So I thought, first let's talk to interns. Then we'll go to the founder. So I messaged her and I said, hey, I saw this. Now, like a true intern, she was so excited. She said, ma'am, I hope you like it. Now, I actually wanted to ask her, how dare you? Right? But when this girl is so very excited, I said, okay, yeah, it's nice, but it would have been good if you had informed me. Now she got very scared. Then I said, no, I would have given you a better sari picture. She said, yes, ma'am, I'll keep this in mind. And I thought, okay, this is day number 4. That means 3 more pictures would have already gone. And 21, so let me see who those 21 are. I mean, look at that. Wow. Nobody would have gone to Smriti Irani and said, I'm going to use your picture. Nirmala Sitaraman is there, Purva Purohit is there, and there is Sudha Murthy. Every other name. Nobody would have gone to these people and said, can I use your picture? Which is when I realized that they are on brands. And you can use their picture in whichever way. Right? See, I'm also a brand. And what is that brand? Kalanika, I have never interacted with them. I never bought saris from them. This was 2021. So my brand, of course, the jobs for her, but in 2020, because it was the COVID year, I definitely wanted to do a lot of trainings, but nobody's going to come and pay for trainings in 2020. So all I did was a lot of free sessions. People used to invite me. I did about 60, 70 sessions that year between April and December. And in that Zoom screen, Kalanika has been able to identify me as a woman wearing a sari in every session. And then put me along with those people. So the point I'm trying to say is not that please wear saris or anything. Everything about you counts to your personal brand. What you say, how you say, where you are present, what you wear, and all of that. It's not only about what you wear, but everything. So I kept screaming, women please come, attend sessions. It became a part of my brand. Today I really want to do sessions for mixed groups. I'm glad to have a couple of men here. But then it's not changing. My brand has got so very much established that only women's programs come. And the fact that I wear sari. So somebody asked me, is this a part of my brand strategy? And it was new to me. I didn't think it was brand strategy. I used to love saris as I was in college and I started working. I used to buy and I thought I must use them. So I started wearing 1 every week. And then I said 2 every week. Finally it went to 5 every week. And then I thought, okay, 1 salwar a week now. What to do with salwars? Yes.
I just want to mention another woman who is known for her saris is Pankaj.
Pankaj.
She goes to Sydney all the way in saris.
Absolutely. Yesterday I was telling Sneha that when we heard her, you must look her up. She's one of the really inspirational women leaders. So, sari, one puttu, and she'll be there. She'll go to a temple and put all of that and then she'll come and deliver a keynote. Okay, all those perceptions about executive presence, this and that, none of that mattered to her. So, yeah, somebody said brand strategy. It was no brand strategy. This was the reason. Simple. I loved saris, I started wearing it. Today, it's become a part of my brand. If I walk in a salwar, people don't recognize me. In fact, for one of the events, you do these video promotions before events, right? Harleen didn't ask me to do it, but they said, okay, can you do a small video bite before the event? I did it in a salwar and they said, please do it in a salwar. So that's the kind of branding that happens unknown to you, which means we better be very careful about how we show up, where we show up, what we speak, and all of that, because that's going to build your personal brand. Okay, again going back to what is personal brand. A personal brand is a widely recognized and largely uniform perception or impression of an individual based on their experience, expertise, competencies, actions, achievements. The rest is what you need to underline within the community, industry, or marketplace at large. So it is a uniform perception. It can't be that she thinks like this, he thinks like this, and third person thinks very different about it. There can be certain attributes which could be different, but it can't be that the person thinks, oh, she is the best teacher, and so she is the best marketeer. It's like two different things altogether, right? So it has to be a uniform perception. So you all have heard of Lululemon? Yes. Yeah. Okay. So that's they have started their technology office in India a couple of years back, 2021, I think. And so they started it during COVID. So they did I think online inauguration, and then in sometime November 2021, the CTO and all the leaders flew down to do an in-person inauguration of the facility. So they had a lot of meetings, because they are here for the first time, meet with the other industry leaders. One of the things they wanted to really figure out was, how is diversity and inclusion looked at in India? So ANSA, that's an organization that helps set up GCCs here, was helping them, put up all of this. So they recommended doing a roundtable discussion, about 90 minutes, with industry leaders, tech leaders, say some D&I leaders, some platforms that evangelize D&I, to kind of get this out. So Smita, the CMO at ANSA, called me and said, will you moderate this? I said, sure, I can do all of this. And as I walked into the room where the discussion had to be happening, Smita said, Neeraja, I can't think of anybody other than you when it comes to D&I. And that's what it means to say that it's a widely recognized and largely uniform perception within a community, industry, or marketplace at large. If it's D&I, it's Neeraja. I'm not saying I'm the only person. We'll come to the crowded marketplace and then the USP and the differentiators and all of that. But it is that. Neeraja equal to networking, or she is the one that we need to reach out to for personal branding sessions, or she's the person that we need to reach out to when it comes to diversity and inclusion. So you all have something as categorical as that, which is our brand. Something to reflect upon. Okay, now why personal branding? Why personal branding?
More relatable.
No, more relatable? Okay. Anything else? Yeah.
You exist beyond your company. Where you're working, you should have a presence. People should know you apart from what you're doing.
Absolutely.
Beyond that.
Absolutely. Thank you. So I'm walking up and down. I don't know how far this goes in records. Okay, so it's been right, yeah.
If the brand is personal, it could create more attachment for customer towards the product, and also it could highlight the pain points.
Mm-hmm. Okay, all right. So another thing about, obviously, yes, you are part of an organization, whether it's your own or it is you're working for someone else. But we always say that your brand needs to precede your organization's brand. So Steve Jobs, that brand preceded before Apple. And that's the level to which you need to take your personal brand. People need to talk to you as a person. Say, I think this is the person who can give us some, gyan on product, MVP, whatever that may be. And by the way, she happens to represent this organization, right? And you're very right. Why personal branding? It helps you stand out from everyone else. It makes you memorable. And this is the most important question. If you take me out of my current business context, who am I? How many of us introduce ourselves to say, I am Neeraja Ganesh with a designation? Are you able to introduce yourselves without that designation and say, I am so and so? And Meeta Malhotra, who's now the founder of the Hard Copy, she was a partner and director at Ray & Keshwan, one of the most established branding organizations. And she said this as she exited out of Ray & Keshwan. My identity had merged with the company's identity. The answer to the question, who am I? The answer to this question could have been, I'm a nobody. Because I exist only because of that identity that I have with my organization. And that's a very difficult job. And I struggled with this. In 2017, September, I quit from Captain Nat. And in the whole of October 2017, I was only attending events and networking, etc. And people would say, okay, I had to introduce Neeraja Ganesh. And I felt so incomplete. I said, yeah, I just quit from Captain Nat. I was a director. I'm just figuring out what to do next. I'm on a break. And I'm trying to apologize and give reasons for not having a designation. Today, I'm a Neeraja Ganesh full stop. I do not have a website. I do not have a company registered in my name. I just exist. People just come to me for Neeraja Ganesh. And then they will say, what is the designation I should put? I said, whatever you feel like. Be as creative as possible. It really doesn't matter because you're coming to me, the person, the brand that I am. And that is where we all need to reach. We all probably are there, but we have kind of built our identity with the organization and have forgotten what is the brand that we carry. Yeah. Now, how do I create this? Please feel free to stop me if there are any questions or debates that we want to do. Otherwise,
Neeraja, I have a question.
Yes.
So human beings are more often than not uncomfortable with undefined, ambiguous stuff.
Right.
When you are growing as a person, and we start at whichever level,
Right.
0, level 1. How do you then? How did you, for example, become comfortable with this discomfort of not having definitive adjectives attached to you or definitive values attached to your name? When you shifted your identity from there to what you are now,
Sure.
how did you handle that?
Yeah, so it is uncomfortable. For sure, it is very, very uncomfortable. And it is not that, October went like that, in November I suddenly felt comfortable. No, November I felt comfortable because I had taken on a consulting assignment, then I could say I am so and so at this company. So it has taken me a while, and that's why this is not an overnight effort. Okay. Branding is a continuous journey, so you can't stop. Okay, it is continuous. And there will come a point in time when you will feel comfortable with people just knowing you for who you are. And of course, the rest of it is there. You're not detaching yourselves from, your company, the identity that you have, the designation that you have, the founder of a so and so. That still continues. But they have to be calling you. Like I will call Pankajam any day, regardless of whether she is in CBA, ANZ or not in any organization. That is the So we have to reach that stage of branding. So again, I go back to say the brand exists. Do you know what it is? Is it the right brand? And how have you ensured that you built the visibility to the rest of the world, whatever that world is? It could be this room, it could be, all the colleges, it could be all the corporates, it could be, online. But have you managed to build that visibility so that when you walk in, people say, Swati has come. You know who Swati is? And they will introduce her. And she doesn't have to. And we'll reach there. It is uncomfortable. Till you get comfortable or till you reach that stage, yes, all of us have an identity which is associated with our organization. Most of us have.
We have our own self-doubts, low self-esteem some days.
So you go to school, I'm mother of Sneha Ganesh. You go to your spouse's, some office function, wife of somebody. Why do you have to be something of somebody? You are you, and that is what is your personal brand, and you need to ensure that people know us for that. Yeah, how to create. Of course, it needs extensive self-reflection. Selva, what is the brand that you want everyone to know you for? You may give me an answer today. You'll go back home and say, okay, really? Is that what I want them to know? See, it may not come to you immediately. So for me also, it did come to me. I transitioned, as long as I was in the corporate for 25 years, nobody knew me. I had fancy designations, but nobody knew. Like you say, Neeraja Ganesh, okay, one other director in category. But over a period of time, it has happened. And for me, I think the passion to be with women, to do things for women, to ensure that women aspire and reach their aspiration was always there. So I was able to build on that. Opportunities came my way, and then I started doing things which will enable me to further my brand presence. So it will not happen overnight. You need a little bit of time of self-reflection, introspection, but you should not come across as a salesman. Right? I should not be saying, you know what, Neeraja Ganesh, D&I expert. If you need D&I programs, please come to me. That is not what you want to do. People need to know you for that. Say, she's the person that, or he's the person who should be. Your question?
Yes, I have a question.
Yes.
So like you're saying, right, that building your brand is a continuous process. But you also said earlier that the brand already exists. You have to be able to showcase that.
Yes.
I think what I struggle with that, like with having an educational background in advertising, right? Branding, product branding, you kind of plan it out. You kind of create the story, right? And then you implement it and then take that forward. But you decide the brand identity,
Sure.
say. So I feel like it's hard to, I don't understand how to apply that in my personal brand because I feel like I have to decide this is what I want people to think of me and only stick to that. But you're also saying it's a continuous process.
It is. So, the first question that we all have to answer is, do I know what my brand is? You may be thought of very differently today. Like I tell Sneha, my daughter here, I keep her giving her name, she's a scapegoat for all examples today, she's giving me the looks. So she's been active on, and we'll come to social media soon, but she's been active on social media. She's just graduated last year, and all the time she's been doing a lot of trainings for her peers on LinkedIn presence, on interview prep, on resume, etc. And she puts out a lot of content on social around this. However, she also is a data analyst now, and she's aspiring to be a product professional. And I've been very clearly telling her that you need to also now start putting out content around data for people to know that that's not the only tool. She loves that brand because she definitely identifies with it. But along with that, she's a data professional or she's aspiring to be a product professional. So some of her contents and brand presence has to be in that space. Yeah? So honey, there is a brand. Reflect whether that is the right personal brand or not. And if it is not, then how did it get built, right? Something you did, something you said, something somebody else said about you has painted that picture. So now you have to slowly erase that. But if it is the right picture, then how do you ensure that becomes more and more visible?
So you're saying that the starting point is to understand what your brand is perceived,
Yes.
to understand it as opposed to what you think of it.
Yeah, but if it's the same as what you think, it should be.
It should.
It should be.
Yeah.
Right? And I removed off one slide here, but I think let me give 2 minutes to that not seen slide is brand and brand characteristics. For all of you who understand this, right? They're different.
Yes.
So when we spoke about Indra Nooyi, all that about compassionate and all of that is a characteristic, right? We gave an example of, I don't know, I'm forgetting it, about a brand which is very generous. In one of our panels, I think we spoke about, or maybe story, I think Tanya was referring to, the last one, the Google ad that she was looking at, right? Google have portrayed about themselves, but when you look at that, you realize how passionate they are in the story that they are projecting. And hence you may go with that search engine versus some other search engine. So for example, Cadbury's, if you see every Diwali, they come up with this ad, which is to promote the local markets. Have you seen that? Shah Rukh Khan coming and saying, local, say le lo karke. Whether you like Cadbury's or not, the chocolate, you may go and buy that because it kind of, and that's the characteristic in the value. So sometimes you buy a Nike or a Lululemon or whatever for the characteristic of the brand and not necessarily because you think it's great. It could be, but you maybe two competitive brands. I mean, it's not really very different. But your calling is towards one because of the characteristic of that. So that your brand. So if in a crowded market with 100 DMI consultants, if they come to me, it's because of certain characteristics that I exhibit. And if somebody doesn't care about that, they will go to another DMI consultant.
So it's a combination of your professional expertise plus the attributes what you generally
Absolutely. It is a combination of your experiences and your behaviors.
Yeah.
Both together, your brand. Right? So be consistent with the personal branding, stay true to your brand, and you need to do both online and offline branding. Both. Today there is no way out, but you can't forget either of the mediums. Okay? Give it time. It's an investment. It will not happen overnight.
Can you elaborate a little bit on what you mean by offline?
Yeah, we will talk about it. See, offline branding is if I walk into this room and this is offline, people know me. Okay? Online branding is, somebody comes across the name Neeraja Ganesh. Do they know? Right? So yesterday at this event that I was, so many people came to me and they said, I've seen you. Your face is looking familiar. Some people said you're Neeraja. Somebody introduced me as a Neeraja and this person said, Neeraja Ganesh, right? So that's the two of us actually did a session of personal branding together. Instead of Indra Noise, we put Sheryl Sandberg's photo. It was a global audience. I said, what is the thing that's coming? And nobody got her name. Nobody remembered her name. But they remembered Lehman. They remembered the work that she does for them. So when you are in any space that's offline, in person, online is digital. And we'll do a little bit more on that. It is going to take time for someone to recognize you as that brand. Give it time, right? Also be consistent. And I'll tell you what I mean by consistency. Okay, let me just see if I have any other stories around this. Okay, all right, we will come to the story. I think this is more important than this slide. So this I pitched from another session that I sat on for personal branding. Karthik Srinivasan is one of the most well-known experts on personal branding. He helps brands build, he helps companies build their brands, and he's a LinkedIn job boards. And this is how he explained. Imagine a house with 100 windows. Imagine if all the windows were open. How would people, talk about what's inside the house?
Based on the windows that you can see.
Sorry?
Based on whatever windows easily visible to them.
Yeah. So somebody passing by the right side will have a different view, on the left side has a different view, right? And hence, people are calling you different. Somebody is saying, you are in the ed field, somebody is saying in the DNI field, somebody is saying in the tech field, because all your things are open. You can have everything. It's not meaning that, you shouldn't be doing, 10 different things. You may have 10 different interests and passions. But what is it that you want to project to the whole world? So he says, keep only 5 windows open. 5 is also a big number. Imagine to build a brand presence on 5 different things. So you decide whether it's 1 or 3 or 5, but not more than 5. Sure. It's going to be very, very different. And it is the same 5 windows open forever. Imagine you're changing every month, a new set of 5 windows is opening. Again, you're confusing people. Right? Because you want consistency in the people also. You can say, oh, she's a DNI expert, she's a product expert, she's a tech expert. So, which are those 5 windows which you're going to open up? That's your reflection, introspection. So, I am saying, Sneha, please look at data science, please look at product and start talking about that on your social media. She may or may not do it. But I feel that if she wants to grow as a professional in that space, people need to know. Oh, I think Sneha is the person that we need to look at as the next product expert. So that's the reflection. What are those 3-5 things that you want the whole world to know about? Or how do we build this visibility? So far so good. We understand what is branding, we understand why it is important, okay? And we understand how to figure it out. It won't happen in this room, it may not happen tomorrow also. But you have to start thinking of it. So within the organization. So people know, those of you who work in teams and the span of control and the span of influence that you have, they know about it. But it came only for 2 posts. Uske baad it just doesn't go there. And there are some which I just write what comes to my mind and I use some hashtags and all of that I know. Some will not cross 3,000, some go to 30,000. So I have not cracked this apple. But I write what I feel. And I use some pictures just to ensure that it has a little more larger, but very relevant pictures. Like today, you'll probably give me 20 pictures from today. I'm not going to use them, but people will make 20 posts out of it with really relevant content. Nothing, that will be attached to that. So what is your why? And go with that. There will be a following for you. It is okay if 100 other people are writing. You have your own loyal followers. They will have their own loyal followers. When you start becoming consistent, you start appearing in their field more and more and more, and hence your 100 become 1,000 and 2,000, 5,000. Yeah? So yes.
I'm actually, I just wanted to add to the fact that everybody was talking about writing with AI.
Yes.
This effectively, actually playing the devil's advocate.
Yeah.
There's actually a school of thought that's actually building up about writing your article specifically with AI.
Okay.
Because as a receptive audience who is constantly consuming content,
Right.
you want to be talking the same vocabulary. You want to be talking the same specific word breaks and word sizes and sentence sizes to make it easier for people to consume content.
Okay.
I mean, you're using a generalized medium like, let's say, ChatGPT or Claude or Bard or whatever you want to use to actually generate your content.
Right.
What actually would matter is your content and not how you write it. Because the way you write it is becoming so standardized that more people would find it easier to read it. So you'll be known for your content and your knowledge,
Right.
rather than your vocabulary, which makes it harder for them to actually connect you. Also makes you global to everyone.
So are you saying that go with an AI written content? Is that what
There
it
is
is?
a trend on the rise. It's
Oh.
very small. There's like it's slowly catching up. It's very like, I mean, my job keeps me connected to the valley quite a lot. So I've seen that as a preferred writing style to consume content, because they're like, no, I don't need to worry about your vocabulary and my vocabulary and
But what content is this?
every content. Like it's been in PM, it's been in tech, it's been in climate. I mean, everybody.
Is it social media content or is it like text and
No, social media content, mostly LinkedIn, very high up bidder for that.
Okay.
Because it's also very high
Yes,
fast growing.
exactly. That's right.
They don't want to worry about the tone, they don't want to worry about your vocabulary, they don't want to worry about if you get it's like you talk to your friend for 5 years, you know exactly what they need. So now imagine having 500 of them to speak.
Yeah. So maybe that's I'm not aware of that, but thank you for bringing that point. But what I will say is, I don't know each of us in what stage we are in our personal brand journey. Okay? Where I am today, I'm happy with what is the audience and following that I have. Okay? And that's where I have a couple of things more beyond this. And for that why, I'm happy writing my content. Because that audience loves my writing. So as I said, I don't have a BD team, I don't sell, I don't have a website. But people come to me because they've read my content, which is just 20 lines on that social media post. And they say, I think this lady should be called to a session. So I'm happy, at the moment I'm happy. Okay, so your why determines what you use and where you use and how much you use. But promotion is very, very important. You're just sitting on LinkedIn or Instagram and not promoting, it really doesn't help. What does it mean? Start building your connections. In person also, start meeting new people and connecting to them so that they become part of your network on LinkedIn. I'm talking LinkedIn, which could be any other social media of your choice. Start building networks with strangers. Be a little careful because all kinds of people exist everywhere, but you have to take that risk and start building networks. And then just sitting quiet doesn't help. Just liking somebody's post does not help. You have to start. If you can't write your own content to start with, start commenting on somebody's post. Relevant, not say how this is. Great job. No, doesn't help. Something more relevant. Then you can reshare with a couple of your comments. At least post articles written by somebody else with 2 comments, two lines. Then you will slowly build it up. That's why I'm not saying do 10 posts a week. But at least 1 post a week per time. Yeah? You have to, otherwise nobody is going to fight you. And in that crowded place, if you are not consistent, you will be forgotten. So, like that man, I don't know how well you can read it. I have been playing the guitar in my parents' basement for 30 years. I should get discovered any day now. Nobody is going to, right? So that's the thing. Yeah, these are the last 2 things. LinkedIn top voice. Have you all come across this bad? Anyone here? LinkedIn top voice? Okay, all right. So these are people who really focus on getting the badge. And their why must be determining this. Like, I don't care about this badge. Okay, I really don't care about this badge. But if you care about it, because you feel like many of us, care about some awards, some designations, something. If you care about it, then there's a way to get to that, right? But what I'm trying to say here is that this is not a function of your number of followers or anything. Okay? It is a function of the content that you put. And how regular you are and how engaging this content is and all of that. Okay? And it is not something that you think only a 20 years of experienced person can do. Soumya Singh is almost a fresher. Just look up the content. She's maybe a grad, 2 years out of college. She's got that many number of followers. She's got some YouTube channel having some fantastic number of followers. Puts out content for college students. And she is a tech person. And you can see all of this, right? She is Google Connect, GHCI, all tech. So her content is around how the students can really advance in technology and get jobs and crack interviews and all of that. So she has that following. And she is a LinkedIn top case. Jermina is my friend. She is into retail and marketing. This year she landed the top class. But she is also, I am noticing, if you noticed of late, putting pictures of herself and then the content. It was not like that. Right? So, see, the why will determine what she does. She really wants to keep up that badge. And hence, that's the only way for her to be discovered and her post to be discovered. So, what is your why? And based on that, you do. If you really want to have the badge, you have to follow all the algorithms. If you're just okay for writing some content and over a period of time it builds your brand, great. This also didn't happen overnight. I'm sure it's taken years for them. Then there is this other one. Have you noticed this? There are a lot of community voices. Top product management voice. Top mindfulness voice. Top, what do you have? Top presentation, top public speaking badges she has. Right? Project management, leadership. There's some 30, 40 odd community top voices. Now, this is more easier. When I say easier, I don't say I'm saying easier. Don't give me the looks compared to the other one. Because this comes in the form of collaborative articles that LinkedIn asks you to. Anyone here with the voice? Which one do you have?
Creator economy.
Okay. Do you want to tell them how you got it?
Exactly what she said, collaborative articles. I was first doing it for a variety of topics. It was around art and movie making and VFX, etc. And then I did a bunch of them on creator economy consistently. And if you're doing it on one topic consistently, and it's actually, there's a division, you can just select the topic you want to contribute to. And if you do it for a topic consistently, one day you'll just get that badge.
Right? So these
and then it goes away also.
It goes away also. That's what I want to do. These collaborative articles don't open up for all of us. They open up for certain people, I guess, based on the kind of stuff you've been writing. So suddenly, one personal branding collaborative article opened up for me 2 days ago. Thank you. Because I probably promoted this session. So they said, okay, collaborative article on personal branding, and I have written, I have responded. But you may have to continuously respond to 5 or 6 of those, and then the number of engagements that it gets, and then it finally gets you this. And if you're not consistent, then this will go away. This stays for 2 months, 3 months. But if in those 3 months you don't do anything about writing to those collaborative articles which will keep coming, then this will go. And you can have multiple batches of this. So this is not the intention and ambition that all of us need to have. But I'm just letting you know this is also a way of building a brand. Okay? So LinkedIn is making such things available. But the simpler thing is for all of us who are starters, ensure that you identify what you want to be known for, that brand, and be consistently noticed in office, at coffee, chai, lunch, town halls, at networking meetups, stand over here, introduce, do sessions, talks, anything and everything, and online, be present. Over a period of time, you will be known beyond your designation, right? If you're not a brand, you're a commodity, which is also perfectly fine. We all shop for commodities also. I will go and footpath with your chappal hai, I will buy it. But then, how many people will go? How many chappals will get sold? Nobody knows. So do you want that as, okay, if somebody comes to me, I'm happy. Or do you want people to come to you? That determines your brand strategy. So do you want to be a brand? Do you want to be a brand? Thank you. And I'm happy to connect you on LinkedIn.